Hey family, what's going on? This is Andy Henriquez. I want to welcome you to the Thursday night show for your life motivational live stream. I thank you so much. We're going to get started just momentarily. As you're tuning in, do me a quick favor. Go ahead and put in your city and your state so I can go ahead and give you a quick shout out. We're going to get started with tonight's message. Hey, what's going on, family? This is Andy Henriquez, and I want to welcome you to the Thursday night show for your life motivational live stream. Hey, do me a favor. As you're tuning in, as you're jumping on, go ahead and put in your city and your state so I can go ahead and give you a quick shout out. Listen, this message is specifically for you tonight. If you're looking to up level your game, if you're like trying to get to that next level, that you've got like this big dream, this big vision, and you know that in order for you to be able to realize that big dream and that big vision, it's going to require that you get uncomfortable. It's going to require that you up level. It's going to require that you perhaps do some things that you have never done before. And so I want to give a shout out to a couple people. Hey, Roxanne Chung out in Miramar, Florida. I see you, Roxanne. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hey, as you guys are jumping on, do me a quick favor. Go ahead and hit the share button. Go ahead and hit the share button as you're jumping in. Hey, Jocelyn, how you doing? Jocelyn out in Clayton, North Carolina. Jocelyn, what's going on? I see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. As you're jumping on, put in your city and your state so I can go ahead and give you a quick shout out. But let me tell you this message is specifically for those of you like you've got a dream, you've got a vision, like you've been looking to up level yourself. Like there's something that you've been wanting to do, and maybe perhaps that thing is sort of intimidates you. It's something you've been putting off. You've got around a lot of uncertainty around it. You've been sort of talking yourself into it and talking yourself back out of it. Listen, I want to share something with you that is so critical for you to get to your next level. It is critical for you to step into your greatness, absolutely critical for you to get to where you want to be. And so you do not want to miss this message. And do me a quick favor. If you've got a friend or a family member or somebody you know that needs to hear this message, go ahead and hit the share button or go ahead and invite them to the call. I want to give a quick shout out. Hey, what's up? I see you, Darren in Baltimore. We got Jocelyn in North Carolina. We got Roxanne in Miramar. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And do me a quick favor as you're jumping in right now. Go ahead and make sure that you absolutely make sure that you go ahead and hit the share button, because there's probably somebody that you're connected to that absolutely needs to hear this message. And so I'm sharing this message with you specifically tonight. The reason why I decided to craft this message is because I realize that so many of us, we have a desire to get to the next level. We got a desire to do something amazing in our life, and we're aspiring for greatness, whether it's in our business, whether it's in our relationship, whether it's in our finances. And then what happens is we aspire for greatness, but then we find ourselves oftentimes shrinking. And the reason why we shrink is because life has like this way of just coming and just punching you in the face. Life has a way of just throwing you curveballs. Life has a way of just throwing things at you. And when we get hit with those things, it's not uncommon that we begin to shrink. It's not uncommon that we begin to like throw in the towel. It's not uncommon that instead of leaning towards our goals and leaning in, that we start backpedaling, that we start making up excuses, that we start coming up with stories. And I hope that I'm not just talking to myself, and that maybe perhaps some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. Maybe you had something that you wanted to do, something that you've been meaning to do for a while. Maybe you wanted to write the book, you wanted to start a business, you wanted to go back and get another degree, you wanted to get back out there and start dating again, you want to put yourself back out there in the market. I don't know what that thing is that you've been wanting to do, that thing that represents your next level. But one thing that I know for certain is that oftentimes when we have that next level that we're aspiring for, oftentimes the thing that really throws us off guard is that life ends up hitting us with something. And right away, we throw in the towel. Right away, we start coming up with excuses. Right away, we literally begin to retreat. And what I need you to understand is this. I want you to write this down. If you're a note taker, I want you to write this down. I want you to understand this. You cannot shrink into your greatness. I'm going to say that one more time. You cannot shrink into your greatness. Those two things are like counterintuitive, right? Those two things cannot coexist. You can't be great, you can't expand, and at the same time also shrink. And so the reason why I decided to go ahead and share this message is because I have a signature training that I do. It is known as my Master Storyteller Academy. It's a training event that I do specifically for people who are speakers, trainers, coaches, service-based entrepreneurs, and I work with an intimate group of people, normally about 20 people, and I specifically help those people to be able to develop their signature story so that when they get back out there in the marketplace, they got a message so clear that it allows them to attract their ideal customer and clients, that they've got a message that allows them to increase conversion, that they've got a message that really allows them to be able to produce the results that they want. And just so recently, and I just want to share this with you, not to necessarily pick on anybody, but just to simply make sure that I make a point that I believe that all of us could benefit from. So recently, I've had some people who reached out and they applied to attend my Master Storyteller Academy, or they applied to figure out how they could possibly work with me. And I had a couple people who said, hey, Andy, listen, I'm all in. I definitely want to make it to your Master Storyteller Academy. I definitely want to be part of your training. And not only did they say that they want to do it, but they were even willing to go ahead and put a deposit down to secure their space at the upcoming training. And I thought it was just so crazy because the majority of the people who do attend my event, they normally pay in full. But just to make it affordable and just to make it so that other people can actually get there, I do offer sometimes payment plans so that people can actually attend the event. And so it's just one of those really weird, bizarre things. It doesn't always happen, but it was one of these cases that I allowed four different people to actually do a payment plan. And normally I try to stay away from payment plans just because a lot of times that, you know, the payment plans, sometimes they end up being a pain in the butt, to be quite honest with you. They end up requiring extra work to follow up with our customers and our clients and so forth. But I know a lot of people, they really want to take advantage of the opportunity, but maybe perhaps their funds are limited. So I offered them a payment plan so that they can actually attend. And I had four people that I actually extended a payment plan to. And the crazy thing is, out of the four, three of the people who I extended the payment plan to, three of them who made a deposit, three of them who made a commitment, three of them who said, yes, I'm coming, three of them who said, I'm holding my spot, three of them who made payment arrangements, all three of them, all within a matter of a couple weeks, all had life situations that occur, things that came up in their life, whether it was, you know, a car broke down, whether they had a client that was supposed to pay them that didn't pay them. But for one reason or another, life introduced something to them. Something happened. And here's where the lesson lies. When life hit them with something, the first place that they went to mentally was that life hits me with something, so let me go ahead and shrink in my thinking. And when I say shrink in their thinking was, instead of getting hit, because the thing is, I know we're all going to get hit, right? We all set out to accomplish our goals. We all set out to accomplish certain things in our business and our relationships. And life has just this unique way of just hitting us with things that we just didn't anticipate, right? There are some of you right now, you're in the middle of a new relationship. Things are going good. And then out of nowhere, the new relationship, something's come up. And now this new relationship you're in is being challenged. Some of you right now, you've got a business. You've been in business now for a while. And you are on your way to getting to your next level, and you've made a commitment to get to your next level. And then after making the commitment, something happened, something showed up, whether it's financially, whether it was personally. And a lot of times we'll just have certain things that we aspire to do. And then out of nowhere, life hits us. And so the first thing I want you to realize is that none of us are exempt. All right. And so if you are going through something right now and you think you're the only person going through it, let me just tell you, and rest assured, you are not the only person who's having a health issue. You're not the only person having a financial issue. You're not the only person that's having a relationship issue. Life is going to hit us all with some issues. That goes without being said, right? But really, the real distinction between those of us who grow, the real distinction between those of us who get to our next level, the real distinction between those of us who level up and those of us who repeat a pattern of continuing to shrink, those of us who repeat a pattern of self-sabotaging ourselves, is that when you do get hit by life, the question is, what do you do? Are you willing to get uncomfortable? Are you willing to lean in, as Sheryl Sandberg would say? Are you willing to figure it out, right? In other words, you make a financial commitment and something happens, you got one or two options. Either you shrink and you break that commitment and you renege on that commitment and you don't follow through on that commitment, or you get really uncomfortable and you say to yourself, what do I have to do to figure this thing out? What I want you to understand is that there's two unique distinctions in both of those mindsets. I want you to understand something. There's something that you desire to get, and there's something that you want, and let's say it's a significant investment, you either have one or two ways of thinking. One way is that, oh, I can't afford it. I can't make this happen. And so immediately you shut your brain off. You shut off the possibilities. And so the possibilities of you making it happen won't even happen because you have already told yourself, I can't afford it. I can't do it. I can't make it happen. But then there's another mindset. It's an expansion mindset. And what the mindset says is that, you know what? Right now, that money is not in my bank account. Right now, I don't know how I'm going to make this happen, but how can I make it happen? Like, what do I need to do? Do I need to bring in more business? Do I need to make some sales calls? Do I need to go ahead and find a way to hustle to make this thing happen? Do I need to get creative and figure out how I'm going to make it happen? What I need you to understand is that those are two entirely different mindsets. And I'm just seeing way too many people who are showing up to the marketplace and saying that they want to get to the next level. You're showing up to the marketplace and saying that you want to accomplish your goals and your dreams. We're showing up to the marketplace and we're saying that we want to make great things happen. And the first moment that something happens, guess what we do? We start breaking commitments. We start figuring out, like, think about this kind of mentality and this type of mindset. I want you to understand this mindset gets you nowhere. Oh, wait a second. I'm a little strapped for cash. Where do I have money out? And let me see if I could break commitments and go get my money back. Hey, can I get my deposit back? Or let me go ahead and turn off. Let me cancel this bill. Let me bring this bill down. And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Listen, I've been part of Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University. And part of being financially responsible is sometimes finding out what are different places where you are spending excessive money and reducing those expenses. However, I'm talking about those of you who consider yourself to be achievers, those of you who want to get to the next level. Like, instead of you trying to figure out all the places that you can save an extra $50 and you can save $20 here and you can save $100 there, understand that that is a shrinking mindset. That is a small mindset. Like, what it means is that your mind is literally shrinking. Like, you're looking for little $20, $100, $50 savings, right? And what I'm trying to make you understand is that when you're looking to get to the next level, instead of shrinking in your thinking, why not start expanding and start asking yourself big questions? Because when you ask yourself big questions, you produce big results. You see, successful people also ask amazing and powerful questions. Part of those questions is, how can I make this happen? How will I figure it out? How do I get the money? How do I move past this? How do I get this book published? How do I fund this business, right? How do I pay for this coaching program? That when you have an expanding mindset, you start thinking about ways that you can stretch yourself to get to the next level. And I need you to totally get this. Do me a quick favor. For those of you tuning in right now, do me a favor. If you are committed to getting to your next level and you understand that to get there, you've got to stretch, do me a favor. In the comment section, put #stretch, #stretch, because I want you to understand that your next level and where you're looking to get to is going to require that you stretch and not that require that you shrink. Shrinking, if anything, shrinking is only going to delay the very thing that you're looking to make happen. Shrinking is only going to put a momentary Band-Aid. Like, when you start doing stuff like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and cut my $50 bill. I'm going to cut a little $75 bill here. I'm going to start asking for deposits back. Like, listen, what in the world is $100? How is $100 going to change your life? How is $500 going to change your life? $500 is not going to change your life. $1,000 is not going to change your life. Stop shrinking in your thinking and start thinking about how can you stretch yourself so that you can get to the next level. What do you have to do so that you can get to that conference? What do you have to do so that you can be a part of that coaching program? What do you have to do to get over this momentary setback? What do you have to do so that you can get your business to the next level? What do you have to do so that you can, in fact, get this thing that you need to make happen? Start challenging yourself to start thinking about the possibilities, even if you don't have it figured out. Listen, most of the time when you're going to get to your next level, most of the time when you are going to literally experience a breakthrough, all along the journey, you're not going to have it all figured out. Newsflash, let me tell you right now, you will not have it figured out. I need you to get this. I'm going to say it one more time. You will not have it all figured out. You're not going to know where all the funding is going to come from. You don't know who's going to be with you along the journey. You don't know exactly how things are going to work out. And you just got to accept the fact that you're not going to have it all figured out. However, you got to be willing, in spite of the fact that you don't have it all figured out, you still got to be willing to just lean in and start the process of trying to figure it out. And when you do that, you start seeing possibilities. When you do that, you start seeing opportunities. When you shrink in your thinking and you immediately start to disqualify yourself and you say to yourself, oh, I would love to do that, but I can't afford it. Oh, I would love to do this, but I don't know. I don't know if this is the right time. Listen, the moment you start making excuses, what you're doing is you are turning off all of the lights on all the opportunities. And even if a brand new, amazing opportunity was right there in front of you, you wouldn't even be able to take advantage of it, because when you start shrinking in your mindset, you can't even see opportunities. I need you to get that. When you start shrinking and you start turning into survival mode, like, oh, I don't have the money. Let me, maybe I should turn off my cable. Maybe I should reduce my cell phone plan. You know what? I'm paying $30 to the gym. Maybe I should cancel my gym membership. Like, that is a shrinking mindset. Like, you are caught up in like the tiny, minute things. Like, canceling your gym membership is not going to change your life. That's $30 a month. It's not going to change your life. Canceling your cable bill, if that's important to you, that $150 is not going to change your life. How about you ask yourself, what do I need to do to create an additional $150 in residual income each month? What do I need to do so that I don't have to be worrying about what my cable bill is? What do I need to do so that I could afford this $10,000, $20,000 coaching program that's going to help me to get to the next level? What do I need to do so I can keep this mentor, this person that I'm looking to make happen in my life? Like, what do I need to do? Like, listen, shrinking is not going to get you there. I just want to help you understand that. And for those of you who are coaches, for those of you who are speakers and you're working with people, I want to go ahead and help you out, because I don't want you to start looking at yourself and thinking that this is a reflection of yourself. When you start having people who you know that you can help and get to the next level and they start shrinking, understand this, be very careful, coaches, speakers, those of you out there, influencers, please, please don't start questioning what it is that you're providing, understanding that those people who renege on their commitments, those people who begin to shrink in their thinking, I can assure you that if you examine their life, that they are not only shrinking in one area in their life, but they are also shrinking in different areas in their life. Same way that we said success leaves clues. Listen, people who consistently break commitments, people who consistently are shrinking in their thinking, they don't just do it in one area in their life, they do it in different areas in their lives. And so every single one of us, we got to determine who we're going to be in the marketplace. Like, who are you going to be? Are you going to be the person who figures it out? Are you going to be the person that gets uncomfortable? Are you going to be the person that stretches and gets uncomfortable and makes it happen? Or are you going to be the person who breaks commitments? Are you going to be the person that's a flake? Are you going to be the person who doesn't follow through? Are you going to be the person that shrinks the moment you get hit with something? And so I want you to understand that there's a major distinction. People who have developed a habit of shrinking in their life, if you examine their life, you will look at them over a period of 5 years and you will see that they have a reoccurring pattern, and they're always in a pattern of struggling, trying to figure it out, struggling, trying to figure it out, struggling, trying to figure it out. People who lean in, people who are willing to stretch, people who ask questions like, how can I make this happen? You will notice a pattern in their life where they're always getting to the next level. They're always growing. They're always discovering something new about themselves. And so at the end of the day, you just have to decide who you're going to be. But what I want you to be very clear on is this. You cannot, I'm going to say it again, you cannot shrink into your greatness. You cannot shrink into your greatness. I'm going to say it one more time. You cannot shrink into your greatness. And so to get into your greatness, it's going to require that you stretch. It's going to require that you do what Sheryl Sandberg talks about, lean in. Listen, if you're ready to lean in to your goals and your dreams, you're ready to lean in and close out this year phenomenal. You're ready to have the relationships that you want. You're ready to have the business success that you want. You're ready to have the level of fitness that you want. You're ready to have wholeness in all areas in your life. And you understand that in order for you to get there, you can't be shrinking. You can't be like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if I could do this. I don't know if I can make it happen. Like, get over it. Make it happen. Get uncomfortable. Lean in. Like, if you're ready to lean in, do me a favor, put hashtag lean in. Like, I just want to know who's leaning in. Like, who's not throwing in the towel? Who's not going to let a little hiccup? Like, your car broke down. Okay, your car broke down. You're not the first person whose car is going to break down. Figure it out. Figure it out. So you had a client that was supposed to pay you. Listen, I had, at the beginning of the year, I did a particular event, and at one particular event, I had 4 people, and between those 4 people, it was a $40,000 commitment. Each one of those people had a $10,000 commitment. $10,000 commitment each. That was a $40,000 commitment. After that $40,000 commitment that was coming into my business as revenue, 2 of those people, unfortunately, had things come up. And so that was $20,000. That was an actual commitment that was coming in. And that $20,000, there was hiccups, delays. Now, I'm sure we're going to figure it out anyway, but those were delays. But I can't use that as an excuse. Another opportunity comes up and I'm like, oh, well, I can't use it. And I start using the story. Well, you know, I had these 2 clients. They both were going to pay me $10,000 and now they're no longer able to pay me. So I can't do that. Like, no, when you develop a pattern of using past disappointments and things that are happening to make excuses as to why you can't move forward, you're only hurting one person, and that person that you're hurting is yourself. And so, yes, Victoria, you got to lean in. Yes, Darren, you got to lean in. Yes, LaQuisha, you got to lean in. Yes, Janelle, you got to lean in. Yes, Christine, you got to lean in. Yes, Victoria, you got to lean in. So ultimately, we got to be willing to lean in. And what I want you to understand is this. Your next level, your next amazing opportunity, I want you to understand this. Chances are you will not be 100% ready. And you need to get over thinking that you're going to be 100% ready. You're not going to be 100% ready to take advantage of that coaching program, but you got to do it. You're not going to be 100% ready to step into this amazing opportunity that somebody told you. But guess what? You got to push past your fears and go ahead and do it anyway. Like, I've gotten phone calls from people who they had amazing speaking opportunities, and they were afraid to take advantage of the opportunity. So they passed the opportunity over to me. Now, I'm grateful. Like, I'm super happy that they thought, hey, you know, Andy, I got this opportunity to speak in front of these amazing people, these executives, these CEOs, or in front of this amazing audience, but I'm afraid. And so instead, I gave them your name. Like, hello, like, I get the fact that you're afraid, but why in the world would you pass up an opportunity that came to you? Like, level up, like, get uncomfortable and make it happen. Like, there's been plenty of opportunities that have come my way that when it was first presented to me, I was afraid. But guess what? When I got the phone call, I still said yes. On the inside, I was afraid, but you better believe I said yes, because I knew if I said no, that the opportunity was just going to go to somebody else. And so what I want you to understand is I want to get this implanted in your mind, because I believe that there's about to be a great opportunity that's going to come your way. And what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to disqualify yourself. I don't want you to start shrinking because of the fact that you start convincing yourself, well, I don't know if I have the resources. I don't know if I have the skill level. I don't know if I have the experience. Like they're coming to you because they believe that you do have something to bring to the table. And so when the opportunity presents itself, you got to take advantage of that opportunity, because opportunities all have a unique window. And if you don't move forward on that opportunity will go away from you. And be careful about developing old stories and letting those old stories show up. Let me just explain something to you. You know, my wife inspires me a lot of times, and she doesn't even know it. You know, she's always telling me sometimes I inspire, but she inspires me. And so what happened is I watch my wife. My wife, for those of you who don't know my wife, her name is Coach Kaz. She is a love coach. She helps successful single women who are having success in all different areas in their life, but they're not necessarily having success in their relationships. And so one of the things that my wife was really adamant about doing, because now we have an 18-month-old daughter, my wife said, Andy, you know what? I want to do less of sort of going out and getting on airplanes and having to travel to go out and speak at different events. And she says, even though I enjoy that and I love getting in front of my ideal customer and my clients, but I want to be able to build my business from the comfort of my home office. Like, I want to be able to do webinars, teleseminars, Facebook Lives, and I want to be able to build online funnels so that I can find who my ideal customer and my clients are and drive them back to my business. And so one of the things that she decided to do just last year she invested in a program, and she had to make a significant investment in the program. It was like a two-day program, and it was a pretty hefty commitment. Okay, and we're talking about, let's see here, we're talking about a six-figure. What was that? No, not a six-figure. Was that a five-figure commitment? Okay, that she had to make into that particular program. And so she made an investment into the program, and unfortunately, she didn't quite get the results that she wanted. She didn't get the results that we wanted. But what I want you to understand is that doesn't just happen to my wife. That's happened to many of us, right? We've made an investment in something, and we thought that it was going to produce a certain amount of results, and we didn't exactly get the results that we want. Now, what I want you to understand is that when that happens, you have to be very careful, because sometimes we'll formulate a story. And so for some of us, we'll start making a story, and the story sounds like this. Oh, well, I invested in something and I didn't get the results that I want, so I'm just not going to invest in anything else. And so when you do that, guess who's the only person that is being punished? It's you. Guess who's the only person who is being limited and kept from their next level? It's you. Guess who's the only person who's going to end up suffering as a result of that decision? It's you. Because what you're saying is that I tried something, it didn't work out, so I'm not going to try anything else out. And what you're saying is that I tried to improve myself, it didn't work out, so I'm no longer going to continue to try to improve myself. Like, if you think about that, when you start building that storyline, and when you hear people, those of you who are coaches, who are speakers, when people start giving you that storyline, like, listen, a lot of times I won't even take them as a client, because I know if they start building that storyline, they're going to start coming up with the same continual storyline, and I'll be part of their next story. But what I want you to understand is, and what I learned from my wife is that here she was, she made this investment. And then her and I, not too long ago, we went to another conference, and we're sitting down in the conference, and we're there at the conference. And once again, she gets introduced with a new opportunity to work with a new set of coaches. And this is another hefty commitment, okay? This is not a small commitment. We're talking about a hefty commitment, right? My wife, you know, I might get in trouble if I say this, but I'll give ballpark. We're talking about a commitment in excess of $15,000 commitment, okay? I'll just go ahead and put it out there. I may get in trouble with my wife afterwards for saying that, but it's a big commitment. But what I love is that I'm sitting next to my wife, and in that moment, she could make a choice. And the choice is, she could go back to, oh, she invested in a similar program, it didn't work, and now she's getting introduced to another program. And so since the other program didn't work, then maybe she should just say no. But you know what she did? I saw my wife, she pulled out her little pocketbook, and then she went ahead and started pulling out that little see-through Amex card, and I knew exactly what she was going to do. And she looked over at me, and she was like, I want to do it. And I looked at her, and I said, do it. Because I know that the only way that she's going to get to her next level is that, even though that previous investment didn't work out, is that if she continues to lean in and if she continues to stretch herself. Because at the end of the day, you cannot shrink into your greatness. And so what I want you to do is I want you to think about, what does your next level look like? What does the next level in your business look like? What does the next level in your personal relationships look like? What does the next level in your finances look like? What does the next level in your spirituality look like? I want you to think about every single area in your life that you're looking to improve, and hopefully that's every area of your life, right? And I want you to think about, what does that next level look like? Now, when you think about what that next level looks like, my question for you is, what would you have to do to get to the next level? And what I want you to understand is, your next level is always going to require that you level up. Your next level is always going to require that you do something differently than you've done in the past, right? We've heard it over and over again. In order to have something that you've never had, you have to literally become and do something that you have never done. I'm going to say it again. We've heard it 1,000 times. In order to become something that you've never been, you have to both do and become someone that you have never been in the past. And so what it means is, you're going to have to level up. What it means is, you're going to have to stretch. What it means is, most importantly, you're also going to have to grow. And so I want to know right now, and don't just tell me this for the sake of telling me this, like, I want to know right now, are you committed to growing? Are you committed to getting to your next level? Like, if you're committed to growing, if you're committed to getting to your next level, do me a favor, put hashtag grow, hashtag grow, hashtag grow. And for those of you who you've been getting value from this message, do me a favor, hit the share button, because I know that there's somebody you're connected to that can absolutely hear, that can absolutely benefit from this message. There's somebody that you know right now that you've had a conversation with them recently and you can hear them shrinking. They had a big dream, they had a big goal, and now they're telling you, well, I don't know if it's going to work out. I don't even know if I should still even try to write the book. I don't even know if I should still try to go back and go to school. I don't know if I should even bother trying to start the business. I don't know if I should try to invest in this coaching program. I don't know, my car broke down. I don't know, my bills, I had a couple of clients that canceled on me. I lost a big account, and somebody right now that is beginning to shrink. And if you know somebody who's beginning to shrink, what I want you to do is I want you to literally see if you can just get them to think for a moment. And if you could just drop this line on them, like when they're in the middle of doing this, I want you to remind them, like, tell them you cannot shrink into your greatness. Tell them you cannot shrink into your next level. Listen carefully. You cannot shrink into your next level. You must stretch. You must grow into your next level. Like, it's one of those things that's absolutely required. Like, you've got to grow into your next level. All right. And so I want you, like, catch your friends when they're shrinking, catch them, let them talk, hear them out, let them talk, hear them out, and then just say, hey, you know what? I'm hearing you, but it sounds like you're shrinking right now. And I just want to let you know, you can't shrink into your next level. Like, you're telling me that you want to write this book. You're telling me that you want to take your business to the next level. Like, you're telling me that you want to get back out there and start dating. You want to have a happy, fulfilling relationship. You're telling me you want to get out of debt. You're telling me that you want to lose the weight. Like, I'm hearing you, but everything that you're saying right now is contradicting what you say that you want. As a matter of fact, I'm your friend, and I want to call you out. Like, you're shrinking right now. And I just want to tell you, you can't shrink to your next level. As a matter of fact, I need you to level up. And so if you're committed to leveling up, do me a favor, put hashtag level up, hashtag level up. And I love doing this. I tell you to do the hashtag level up because I want to make this interactive. I wish you could just talk back to me. But when I'm telling you to put the hashtags, it's like you're talking back to me. You're telling me, Andy, yes, I'm going to level up. Andy, yes, I recognize that I started to shrink. And I'm telling you, this conversation I'm having with you, I want to be very transparent here. I'm not exempt from this conversation. I'm not exempt from this conversation. There have been times that I've gotten phone calls about opportunities, and I second guess myself during the phone call. And I had to hurry up and say yes, because I knew if I didn't say yes quickly, that there's a possibility that I was going to start shrinking in my thinking. There have been times that I lost clients, or I was anticipating certain revenue coming in and it didn't come in. And then I saw another opportunity that was coming my way, and it was going to require significant investment. And every part of me was a little scared, a little nervous, because I wasn't quite sure where all the resources were going to come in from. And what I'm trying to make you understand is that if you could be willing to level up, like if you don't just shrink, like if you find a way to figure it out, and if you just start asking yourself questions like, how can I figure it out? Like, how can I level up? That's what keeps you in the state of getting to your next level. And I need you to get this. Like, I have this conversation with people sometimes because as a coach and as a speaker, I get to introduce people opportunities to work with me at different levels. And one of the things that pleases me, I mean, absolutely pleases me, is when somebody says, Andy, I want to do this. And Andy, I am going to do this. And Andy, I'm going to be completely transparent with you. As we speak this minute, I do not have the resources in my bank account. I do not know how I would pay for this. But here's what I'm saying to you. I'm going to figure it out. Give me 30 days and I will figure it out. The reason why that literally, in my wife's words, makes my heart smile is because that person is putting themselves in a state in which it's going to require that they stretch. It's going to require that they grow. It's going to require that they go seeking and they go looking for opportunities. When that person starts thinking from that mindset, what happens is they leave saying, I want to make this thing happen. How can I Who can I call? What are new clients that I could bring in? What phone calls could I make? What can I do creative that's going to allow me to bring in more money, more income so I can make it happen? But you know what? The person who says, oh, I would love to do this, but I don't have the money and so I can't do it. That person, they don't understand. The moment they say, I don't have the money and I can't do it, they've cut off all possibilities. And so that means even if the opportunity was like literally was going to hit them on the face on the way home or within 10, 15 minutes of hanging up the phone with me, they wouldn't even be able to see the opportunity because of the fact that they have shut their brain off to the possibilities. And what I want you to understand is what we want to be very mindful of. We always want to put ourselves in the mindset of asking ourselves, how do I figure it out? How can I go ahead and stretch myself? How can I lean in? How can I level up? Because you will never, ever be 100% ready. I'm going to say it again. You will never be 100% ready. Life is about stretching. Life is about growing. Life is about taking opportunities on that intimidate you, that scare you, that you don't even know how you're going to make it happen. And it's about you stepping forward and making it happen. And that's how we build character. And that's literally how we expand our capacity. There are so many of us that we never come to the realization where we get to understand what our capacity is because of the fact that we never stretch ourselves to actually literally take on more and literally take on more of what intimidates us and what scares us. And so if you're always trying to protect your bandwidth, if you're always trying to protect your comfort zone, then what happens is you forfeit your opportunity to grow. And so stop defending your comfort zone. Like, stop defending what's comfortable for you. Like, stop trying to build this little fortress around yourself and freaking break the fortress down. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I'm going to say it one more time. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable and just figure it out, right? It's not rocket science. I'm not saying you're not going to get uncomfortable. I'm not saying that it's going to be easy. I'm not saying that you're not going to second guess yourself. I'm not saying you're not going to look at your account sometimes and start sweating bullets like, oh my goodness, like how am I going to come up with this money? I'm not saying that's not going to happen. But what I'm saying is that you can figure it out. What I'm saying is that you're capable of more than what you're doing right now. What I'm saying is that your next level is going to require that you level up. What I'm saying is that you cannot shrink into your greatness. What I'm saying is that you need to stretch and you need to lean in. And so I simply want you to think about what this thing is that you desire. I wish I could talk to you one-on-one and you could tell me exactly what it is. And maybe for you, you say, Andy, you know what? I've been wanting to be in a happy, fulfilling relationship. Other areas of my life are doing good. And I've been putting it off because, you know, I got hurt in the past. I've been going through it. Maybe if I was talking to you right now, you say, Andy, you know, I've been having success in my business and I want to get to the next level. And I realized that getting to the next level is going to require that I get really uncomfortable. And I haven't been willing to make the commitment of getting uncomfortable. I've been protecting what's been comfortable to me. Maybe as you're listening to me right now, there's a big project or something that you want to do. You want to write a book. You want to start a nonprofit organization. I don't know what that thing is. But what I want you to understand is that all of those things, that it is possible and you can make it happen. But understand this, you're never going to feel 100% ready. You're never going to feel that you have it all figured out. But you have to be willing to, as Sheryl Sandberg says, you have to be willing to lean in. You're going to have to be willing to stretch yourself and understand that the only way you're going to get to your next level, the only way that you're going to expand is if you completely decide to forfeit and walk away from your comfort zone. And I just want you to simply listen carefully. Remember this, write this down, meditate on this. You cannot shrink into your greatness. You cannot shrink into your next level. You cannot shrink into your dreams. You cannot shrink into your vision. I'm going to say it one more time. You cannot shrink into your vision. You cannot shrink into your goals. You cannot shrink into your greatness. And you surely cannot shrink into your next level. And so I'm asking that you be willing to stretch. I'm asking that you be willing to get outside of your comfort zone and begin to make great things happen. And so just do me that favor. So do me a favor as we go ahead and wind it down. If you've gotten some value from the message, do me a favor, hit the share button. And then after you hit the share button, in the comment section, put hashtag share, hashtag share. That's just your way of letting me know, Andy, I got value from this message. And not only did I get value from it, but I went ahead and shared the message because I believe somebody else is going to benefit from it. So if you could do me that favor, just hit the share button and then put hashtag share. I'd really, really appreciate it because I just want to see if we can intervene and help that person who's in the middle of pursuing their goals and their dreams right now. And life has hit them with something and they're beginning to shrink. They're about to forfeit a commitment that they've made, a commitment that perhaps they've made to someone else, or even a commitment that they made to themselves. You know what one of my mentors told me a long time ago? One of my mentors told me a long time ago, he said, Andy, he said, commitment is doing what you said you were going to do long after the feeling has left you when you said you were going to do it. I'm going to say that one more time. When he told me this, I mean, this blew my mind. He said, Andy, commitment is doing what you said you were going to do long after the feeling has left you when you said you're going to do it. Let me tell you what I mean by that. Sometimes we get excited, right? We're at a big event, we're at a conference, or we speak to a friend, and we talk about our dreams, we talk about our aspirations, and we say, I'm going to do it. I'm gonna get out of debt. I'm going to start the business. I'm going to go to the training. I'm going to lose the weight. I'm going to start dating again, girl. I'm going to date again, man. I'm going to do this thing. You know, I'm going to work on this skill. Like, we get excited, right? And in that moment, we want to do it. But here's what happens. Here's what happened. Life ends up hitting us with something. And now guess what? The excitement begins to go away. And reality kicks in. Like, to lose the weight, like, you actually got to get up early and go to the gym, right? The reality kicks in. Like, to get to the next level, like, you're going to have to get some coaching and mentorship, and that's going to cost you some money, right? The reality kicks in. Like, to get in a fulfilling relationship, like, you're going to have to get vulnerable, and you're going to have to get back out there and start dating again. And you're going to have to put yourself in a position where you could potentially get hurt again. Like, all the reality starts to kick in. And so the excitement begins to go away. And as the excitement goes away, guess what we do? We begin to break commitments. We said we're going to lose the weight. We're going to work out 3 times a week. We stop working out. We said that we're going to grow our business. So we're going to make 10 sales calls per day. Well, guess what? Excitement goes away. Now you dwindle down to making 1 call and not even doing 1 call a day. Now you're doing maybe 10 calls in a month, right? When you said you're going to do 10 calls a day. Listen, the excitement was there. But you know what commitment is? Commitment is doing what you said you were going to do long after the feeling has left you when you said you were going to do it. So in other words, you got to do what you know and not what you feel. Like, you got to be willing to literally do what you know. What you know is, in order to get your business to the next level, you got to get uncomfortable. You got to invest and learn some stuff. You got to make phone calls. You got to follow up, right? You got to put systems and processes in place. You got to surround yourself with other successful people so that you can learn from them. In order to lose the weight, you're going to have to change what you're eating. You're going to have to start going to the gym, right? We're going to have to start changing our daily disciplines, right? You want to have a more fulfilling relationship. You need to make your relationship a priority. You need to make sure that you get rid of some of the distractions, right? We normally know what we got to do, right? But we don't do what we know. Instead, we allow our feelings to dictate what we're going to do. And so what happens is our feeling says, oh, I don't want to go to the gym. The feeling says, I don't want to make the phone call. The feeling says, I don't want to make this thing happen. And so what happens is, we end up not moving forward. We end up not doing that thing that we said that we were going to do. And so, you know, that's my little soapbox. I just had to share that because I want you to understand this, that getting to your next level and leveling up is going to require a significant commitment from you. I don't want you thinking that it's going to be easy. I never said it was going to be easy. It is going to require a commitment. But understand, once again, a commitment is doing what you said you're going to do long after the feeling has left you when you said you were going to do it. And so I want to remind you one more time. I believe that you are literally on the brink of getting to your next level. I believe that you're on the brink of greatness. But I also believe that the only way that you're going to get there is if you're willing to stretch, if you're willing to expand, if you're willing to let go of your comfort zone, and if you are willing to honor and hold on to your commitments. And understand this, you cannot shrink into your greatness. And so just keep that in mind. Write that down someplace. and put your first name. I want you to put your first name. Put Yannette, Christine, Roxanne, Victoria, Darren, Stevie, you know, Sophia. Put your name and put it by your desk. Put it someplace where you can see it. Put your name, comma, you cannot shrink into your greatness, and put a bunch of exclamation marks at the end. And it is a reminder to yourself so that when you catch yourself shrinking, as we all do, I've been guilty of it. I certainly have. I still got to catch myself. I'm not exempt. Trust me on this, right? It's a reminder to you so that you don't allow yourself to shrink and you don't allow yourself to start heading in another direction when you know that you got your dreams, your goals, and your visions and the things that you want to make happen. And so, listen, I've taken up enough of your time, and I appreciate you, and I thank you so much for joining me on the Thursday night Show Up for Your Life motivational live stream. Listen, let's stay connected. If for one reason or another you and I are not connected, if you are not, let's say, on my email list or anything, why don't you go ahead and send me a private Facebook message or head on over to my website. Let me go ahead and type this in real quick. It's just my full name, andyhenriquez.com. And when you head on over to andyhenriquez.com, all you're going to do is you're going to see a place where there's a sort of like an opt-in box to get access to a teleseminar that I did back in the day. Put in your name and your email address and just follow the directions so that we can verify that it's you and you're not a robot. It's just a little verification process that we do. And that way, it's just going to allow you and I to stay connected. I want to make sure that you're in my email list so I could let you know about my upcoming training, so I can make sure I send you out. Sometimes I send out some free content, some free training, make announcements, certain places I'm going to be speaking. And I'd love for us to stay connected. So make sure you go to andyhenriquez.com and make sure you type in your information so that we can stay connected. And thank you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Christine, Darren, Yannette, Roxanne, Victoria, Stevie, Sophia, Siraj, LaQuisha. I see you all. Thank you, Janelle. I see you all. And thank you, Darren. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Cosette, thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate you. Jocelyn, I appreciate you all for tuning in. And of course, you'll catch me same time, same place next week. But remember, you cannot shrink into your greatness. You cannot shrink into your greatness. Have a good evening. I'll talk to you soon. God bless you.